Finished up a video yesterday. I didn't get a chance to get I made a mistake, and it's kind of a little bit blurry. It's a little bit blurry. And the video turned out a little bit blurry, a little pixelated, but it wasn't bad pixelated. The problem I forgot to do was, because I have to do it twice. I have to edit the video twice. As I exported the video out, I forgot that I had the bitrate real high, up to 80,000. And I exported it out. I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to tune down the bitrate. Because I usually leave the bitrate at 10,000, for 1080p videos, because you don't need a high bitrate. And, so it's a little bit pixelated. It's a little grainy. Sorry about that one. But either way, it conveyed the message, though. Right now, I'm experiencing a little bit of gut pain, but it's not as bad as it was before. I'm kind of switching my little belief here about my phone and doing memorization with it. At first, I was all for it, I was all for it. I used to be like gung-ho, dead set, let's do it with my phone. I'll do my memorization with the phone. The problem I run into, the phone, I have to keep turning on the phone and turning on the screen. It takes twice as long with the phone than it does with cards. And I am stuck here with this big fat boy in the way. That means I'm going to have to circumvent him somehow. I wish this guy would hurry up and get out of here. Please, hurry. So I'm like, well, I'm going to start writing them out. And the reason I say I'm writing them out, and this is why, that you personalize it. And I usually like to do, sometimes I have more than 1, 2, 3 cards, whatever. No more than like 2, usually 2, at most 3 sometimes. On a rare occasion, I'll have a third card of 3x5 cards, and I'll write out the verse on the card, and I'll write out what it's teaching. And then I memorize it, and then I'll quote it every day for like 5 or 6 days. And then I put on the back, quote 5 times, once a week. So that means for 5 weeks, quote it once for 5 times. So that means you pick a day of the week, you memorize it, you recite it on that day of the week 5 times, and then you say it monthly, once a month. And that's not hard to do. I don't recommend you do a bunch of them. I recommend you do one. So, and the reason I like the 3x5 card, I can go right to my 3x5 card, pull it out of my pocket, and put a mark by it with a pen. I might have to show you when I get over here or something like that, but I'm at the rest for like another 10 to 15 minutes. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons I've had struggling right now to memorize scriptures, because my gut is always killing me. And it's hard to walk and do that stuff when your gut is about ripping you to pieces. Like I said, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. So, I'm going to get over here. Hopefully there's not too many people. What I'm going to do, I'm going to rest, and I'm going to show you my cards on this. So, let me get over there and we'll get on that. Okay, while I sit here and rest my gut, I want to talk about my cards. I was using the phone. I've been using the phone for a while. I've been trying it out. And I'm finding that I'm not liking it that well. It's kind of difficult. So I've been doing is these. I've been doing is this. So I've been putting on so this is the ones that I'm doing right now, 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9 to 10. And so I know 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9 to 10 like the back of my hand. I could quote it any day, at any given moment, even though I haven't said it for several months. But let me talk about the plan that I do. So I quote it, as I said before. This is why I like it, because you can personalize your text. So I put on the back, on this one here, it has my name, my signature. The date I did it was 10/16/2017. It goes with my Monday pile, and after you quote through it, after 5 times, quote monthly. Now I had done it 5 times, so I will quote this one once, and then next month, the first Monday of the month, I will quote this. So that is that. Same with these. This is 1 John 3:9. In the doctrine, same thing. Now I had memorized it long before 11/29/2021, but I just put down the date, my signature for today. And the reason being is it helps you, it's easier. I mean, when I'm trying to do this on my phone, I have to click on it. Sometimes it won't let me do it with my fingerprint. I gotta put in the stupid password. Then I gotta go to SD card, and all these things, also I can get there. Now granted, it is nice to have a retrieval system like that, but cards are so much easier. They're right here on hand. Now, there's advantages to the phone. I can do it in rainy days where it's dumping down buckets of rain. I can do it, but for the most part, I can usually find a good covered area. I can even do it I've done it under the bridge with these cards before. And what I do is I say 1 John 1:5. This is the message we have heard from him and proclaimed to you, that God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. And then I'll go through the doctrine, stuff like that. And then I'll say this, I haven't said it 5 times yet for weekly, so today will be the first week. Then I'll say it next week, and so on until I get to it 5 times. And then I'll wait till the next month, and I'll say it monthly, and I'll say it once a month. So the first Tuesday that comes up, I say it. Now you might be running to it. You might be thinking, well, there's got to be something else to it, Michael. How are you going to remember all these references? Ding, 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 ding. And it's true. You're going to get a lot of references into that. It's going to fill your time. You know the passage. Just a lot of times you just don't know where the location is. You know. So that point is when I start getting a pile. I get a pile of verses, stacked in here or whatever. What I do is I write down. I got all my references I have on Monday. So all those that I have on Monday, I just write down all those references on one card for Monday. And I don't recommend you do more than, once you get about 15 to 20 cards, you only memorize 15 to 20 references. And then each week, I'll quote those references for, I don't know, a good once a day for a week, and then 5 times a week, then monthly, until I get those references where they are spot on, when I can say 2 Corinthians 12, verses 9 to 10, the reference, the verses, and the teaching, when I can say it spot on after all that, then I move on to, I don't need to do that no more. So I just put it aside. I don't need it no more. But until it gets strong, because 1 John 3:9, 1 John 2:5, 1 John 4, verses 9 to 10, 3:2, 3, and then what's in 1 John, 5:10 or 2:12 or 5:21 or 1 John 3:6 or whatever. You get the idea. After a while, it becomes where you can't find them anymore. because you got so many in your brain. There's something about, there's a disconnect. I don't know what it is. About the reference and the verses. Some say, oh, say the reference first in the verse. I'm like, no. When I mean memorize all references, some say memorize all references first, and that's good, but I tweak it. Memorize all references alone. You say all the references, you just put them all together alone. Like, let's say you got like 16, 17 references or passages, and maybe, mix of single verses and passages. So you have to memorize all those alone. So that's where I'm at right now. Wonder how long this is. We'll see. Okay, while I'm sitting here resting for a few minutes. I ran into my mom today. I'm just trying to get my gut relaxed before I do my verses. I want to be not in excruciating pain while I'm doing this, so, that's where it's at, guys. This is, it's hard work, but in the long run, it pays off. And you might be asking yourself, why are you doing the doctrine? Why are you saying the passage and the doctrine? Because because it's all about building a systematic theology, I've been able to quote 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9 to 10 for years. I had memorized 2 Corinthians 12, 9 to 10 long before 2017. In fact, it was way earlier than that. It was more like late 2008. So I've had that one memorized for a long time, and I've been able to say it. And it's not about just being able to say it. It's about communing, meditating. So, but I always say, when you meditate, you better meditate with understanding. You should understand what you're meditating on. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people are confused about this. They're deceived in the idea that, well, meditation is just, thought. True. But it should be thinking biblically. How to think biblically in this world, So, and there are other things I memorized too, that like certain things that, and this is just a pinpoint. It's a pinpoint. It's not that these doctrines, I don't make them long. I make them short and to the point, and they're like little diving boards off into deeper thought that sometimes it sticks with me, sometimes it was just a thought. That's what food is, I've never made you can get chicken almost similar to what it tastes like before, but you can add different things to it to make it taste different. And that's all we're doing, is we're making it taste different. It makes it taste, trying to get it taste better. We're just adding different things to it, and that's part of it. That's where spiritually being fed spiritually is hard work, The old boys back in the day. I know a couple that used to memorize scripture every single day. D.L. Moody, A.W. Pinks memorized a verse a day, and so did William Booth. He memorized a verse a day. I mean, this is where it's at. Oh yeah, by the way, I know one that, he doesn't keep them though. I don't know why he doesn't, but John Piper's one that memorizes a verse a day, but he doesn't keep them. I don't know why, but so I'm gonna get to memorizing. My battery's getting low. It's at 33%. I'm gonna get to memorizing now. I think my gut can handle it. So I'm gonna get to this, and then what I'm gonna do is maybe find a spot, and if I don't have to get rushed home by my wife, I'm gonna find a spot and just write out some more passages, so I can have them strong in my mind. Feed on the Word. Delight in His Word day and night, Delight in it. Get delight in the Word. So, I'm going to get to it now. I'll be back. I'll bring this up a little bit later. Okay, I'm trying to rest my gut, but I think the best thing that I can do is walking. A little bit of walking. I just got done doing my 2 passages. I want to learn a new passage. Even after that, guys, it's been 4 years. Well, probably, yeah, 4 years. 4 years it's been since I've quoted those. I kind of got lackluster on my doing my reviews, and I haven't done for a while. Even after 4 years, they're still strong. It took very little. It only took a little bit of researching to get those back in my mind. Oh, for crying out loud. I get a text message. I get going and I get a text message. Irritating. It's probably my wife. I'm going to set this down. I'm going to keep it going, but I'm going to check it. It's probably my wife. I know it is. Are you on your way home? No, it's kind of irritating after a while. It's very irritating. Oh, by the way, if there's anything the devil can use to distract you from memorizing, you can bet your bottom dollar he's going to use it against you. Know that you're going to have a fight on hand when you start doing this. If you do it, you'll have a fight on hand. See what she wants. Let's see, what does she want? Let's see. What does she want? Jared Jeweler, of all people. Huh. Well, Jared. Well, it wasn't my wife. Sometimes she leaves me alone. Sometimes she doesn't. Usually during the early part of the month, she's always like, can you help me get home? You know, it's like, for crying out loud. Oh, by the way, when you're doing your verses, prepare them a day before. I mean, if you had to prepare it on the day that you're doing it, that's fine. But prepare them a day before. Man, do I want to go to Super One? No, I don't. No, I don't. But yeah, do it a day before. So if I'm not going to get disturbed much, I'm going to go get something at the Dollar Tree, go to Burger King. Hopefully, if the spot is open to where I can actually sit down and talk, I will. And I'm going to go grab something at the Dollar Tree real fast. I got to get something for my mom. I'll go and get something at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to go to Burger King. Maybe I might get something. I might just go sit in the back and do a little writing. If I do, I'll probably get like something that's not going to screw with my stomach. Maybe I'll get a small iced coffee, but let me stop this real fast and face it towards the whatever scenery real fast, and we'll talk a little bit more here, and then I'm gonna head over to the Burger King. First Dollar Tree, Burger King. I'm heading over to the Dollar Tree real fast, and I'm gonna go to Burger King. I'm gonna go get something. I gotta go see if I can find a battery for my mom, and I gotta get I'm gonna get a notebook, and I'm gonna show you something you can do to help you with your little tidbits of memorization. And why I'm a big believer in writing stuff. When I write, what I would say is, you don't want a big, stupid thing, and you don't want to carry a big, huge, honking notebook with you. You know those notebook rulers that are like 70 to 100 pages? Those are too big. You want to carry something with minimal weight. And also, I recommend you guys, if you're new to the faith or whatever, get a pocket-sized New Testament and Psalms and Proverbs. That's the biggest thing you need right now, especially when you're new in the faith. I'm at 13%, but that's okay. I'm not worried. Yeah, get a pocket-sized New Testament, Psalms and Proverbs. Familiarize yourself with the New Testament. Just pull it out and read it. Whenever you get some quiet time, pull it out and read it. I can't tell you how much it pays to go back and see. And I'm saying this as genuine as I know how. Get more than one version. Don't just read from one version. Read from the New King James. Read from the ESV. Read from the New American Standard Bible. Stay away from those paraphrase versions. You know, NIV is okay, which is well, I could go theological on you there. Literal translation is a formal equivalent. A paraphrase is a dynamic equivalent, which means they rely more on interpretation than they are the literal text. But yeah, I'm heading there now, so I'm getting low on the battery. I did it again. No, I didn't mess up on the recorder. I left my GoPro in my bag. I thought I turned it off. Well, it was still on. The battery was draining out of it. How many times have I done that? So, luckily I had 2 full charge batteries with me. I always carry extra batteries with these GoPros. Wintertime just drains, it sucks them dry. The cold weather does not favor the GoPros. In fact, I know that the GoPro 10 batteries are compatible with the GoPro 9. I might get those cold weather proof batteries for the GoPro 9, even though they are made for the GoPro 10, but they're compatible with each other, so I'm thinking I'm going to do that so I can put them in the GoPro 10. Noisy. Thank you. But anyways, I'm going there now. I'm going to run to the Dollar Tree. My mom just called me, pick up a gallon of milk, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I will. I'm going to get this little notebook. A lot of times it's for, it's just to jot stuff down of key importance. Where you can add your little theologies, how to spot heresies and stuff like that. Your biggest problem with most people's biggest problem when they try to memorize, they memorize so much stuff when they should turn it into something that's bite-sized and then paint a picture around it. All right, I'm getting low on battery here. I'm at 9% now. I'm gonna go Dollar Tree, Burger King. I just gotta be careful what I get because I don't want to get something that's full of acid that's gonna just make my gut all acidic. So Dollar Tree, then Burger King, and then I go to a Safeway, and then I'm going home. I'm out for now. Okay. I want to talk to you about something that you can do. It's what they call it a Jot Journal. And it's compact and it's small. And you can take it and you can jot certain things down. Let's say I want to know more about let's say I want to know more about grace. I want to know a lot more about grace or something like that. So, okay, we know grace is all sufficient, but what else is it? So what I'll do is I'll jot down, and I won't particularly put down the verses, but I'll just maybe put a reference to it, maybe sometimes once in a while. I'll jot it down on this piece of paper, like so, and I'll put that there, and I will look about grace. Or I could find somebody who talks about grace, and I'll jot down something that catches me, and I'll write that down. Or you could write down a verse of a hymn, which maybe you want to memorize. Sometimes a good verse of a hymn helps lock in some teaching and theology and helps you grow. And I see a lot of people who don't practice this. They don't write in their little journals, your phone. Everybody's like, oh, I'll just use my phone. No. So what I like to do is pinpoint little dots on them, stuff like this. It's only $1. You get 60 sheets. It's probably 120 because I'm assuming they're double-sided sheets, so 120 pages. So if you do front and back, which I do, and I like to leave a little extra room so I can jot down certain things. So if I want to memorize that and soak that in and have that be a part of my mind, I'll follow that principle. So the number one biggest reason And I find this to be helpful. That wasn't vanilla. Oh well. The one reason I find this to be helpful is that it locks into place core teaching and theology and doctrine. And it kind of fills the gaps all over the place, because you don't want to memorize 15 verses on bibliology and scriptures, although that would be helpful. Sometimes it's just good to get the little pinpoints. So, and then you put those in your mind, and then that can spring off into, okay, let's get more into grace, stuff like that. Or let's get more into holiness, or more into the justice of God. And I don't want to memorize a bunch of verses and stuff like that. So you can pinpoint those. And that would be good. Now that would be something I would say, get your R.A. Torrey topical textbook in PDF form and put it on your phone. And put it onto your SD card on your phone. And pop it up when you need it, and go find those topics and go through it. So and then you write them down here. And when you get time, there's a little secret technique that you can do. And that technique involves simply saying that, like, let's say you want to do grace. So you do is, I like the oratorios because they're to the point. Grace, God is all sufficient. And you say it over and over. You say it for like a minute, then you add another one to it, and you say it's God is all sufficient, and you say the next one. And you say those together for a minute, and you say another one. You just add to it, add to it, add to it, add to it. And then eventually, you've got it. And that'll help lock in a lot of your theology. So, try that. Jot it down here. Eventually, and you'll be amazed at how much you'll memorize and learn and understand and know. And if you do that, you can follow these principles. You just take a chunk, you just underline it, say, I want to memorize this for this long of a period. And you do another part. I want to memorize this part for this long of a period. And then you put down, maybe you can get little sticky notes. Those are good too to have. Put it right there. Start memorizing, blah, 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 blah. That's why I always say leave extra space. So when you do that, you start to put into place, it just locks in key teaching. And then before you know it might take you a year, it might take you a couple of years, you'll know everything there is to know in this book, and then you can just put it to the side and pop it into your mind when you need it. And then you can do the same thing with this, review it the same way you do it what I talked about. Review it 5 times for a week. 5 weeks, once a week. Pick a day of the week, do it, memorize it. You got it. It's not hard. So I'm going to do some of this, and then they always try to come in that way. I'm going to write out some of the stuff in here from my phone. I don't want to be downtown too long, though, because I got to get back home soon. But, yeah, that's key. Okay, I done finished writing out some stuff on this. Things I like to do is I want people should personalize it. So you can see right there, I personalized it, made it myself, made it my own. I put down my name, the date I started writing in this one, which was today, Monday. Put down my phone number, city and state. I don't want to give my street address. I'm not doing that. Put down what it's for, doctrine, Bible. I became a Christian August 12, 2002, Monday in the evening. And then I put down soteriology, grace. We'll read some of them. God is the God of all. Christ spoke with is described as great, sovereign, rich, exceeding, manifold, all abundant, glorious. Is a source of election. The call of God. Okay, is a source of election, is a source of the call of God. Justification, faith, forgiveness of sin, salvation, hope. Believers are heirs of, are under, receive from Christ, abounding gifts of, should be strong in, not to be abused. And then when time comes, see, I left a little bit of space down here, right in here, a little space right there. So when time comes, I'm going to start memorizing that. And then I can come back and jot down little things. So this one little page right here will probably get full attention of, on this one right here. What others may have said about it, stuff like that. I'll jot down certain things down here. We need to learn to make stuff our own. I mean, we don't. We don't make stuff our own. We're caught up in our own little world. We need to be focusing on God, the Word. And I can memorize this. Now, like I said before, what I might do is I might get some sticky notes, and I'm going to put little sticky notes on these. That even personalizes it even more. Because that helps you. This just gives you a reference point to go upon. Now, I didn't do all the references. I did couple references I put in here. Romans 5, sorry, 1 Peter 5:10 and Romans 11:5. Those are the ones I put down for little references. The reason I think that this is important, because it helps you. I know this is based on Scripture. This is for me. I know this is based on Scripture. So, and I can trust R.A. Torrey's stuff, and I know that, and he's not the only source I go to for doctrine and stuff like that. So, and I left myself some extra room for quotes. Another page will be for personal little notes and things that I've done and wrote down. So, I'll do that. I'll keep at it for a while. The reason being that I'll keep doing that is because I think it's important. And I put on my front of it, mic drive in. I had to fade it out a little bit. I don't know if you can see that maybe. I faded it out because I didn't want the ink to spread everywhere. So I'm waiting for it to dry a little bit more. Which it should be dry. It should be still not dry completely. I don't know if that will work. I might have to put like a little bit of, you could do like a little nail gloss and put it over the top of that. That'd be fine. That'd be fine. If you want to do that, you could do that. But make it your own. Make it your own. I find that writing relieves a lot of my stress. Putting something down on a piece of paper. The pen and paper were designed for a reason. They were designed so that we wouldn't have to keep everything stuck in our brains. But we don't want to lose everything. And when we write down stuff that's important. I don't want to write down stupid little dates about, I watch football, blah, blah, blah. All that stupid stuff. I could care less about that. What I care about is hiding this stuff away in my mind, putting it in there, keeping it centered on the Word, feeding on the Word, growing in the Word, making it a daily part of my life. And so, like I said, let me show you one more time what you can do. And you can make little tidbits you could do dots for these if you wanted to. And I think I might do that again. If I were to do it again, I probably would do that. Grace is described as great. It's great. Grace is great. It's described as great. It's great. It's sovereign. It's rich. We always think God is rich in mercy and stuff like that. And those can be little tidbits, little jump-off points for locking in meditation, because I'm not saying don't skip out on memorizing Scripture. But you can lock in teaching by just simply pulling this out. You can put it in your little bag over there like I have. It's small, it's compact. You can get 120 pages. You can put down hymns, you can put down some little quotes or something like that. Where you decided to do it and stuff like that. It might be my wife. She's probably asking me when I'm coming home. Nope. Something else. Whatever it was just something. Nothing really bad. But anyways, this could be very helpful for me because I believe that I could do a lot of this. I'm going to probably get some sticky notes and stuff like that so I can put down the little key things that I've popped into my mind about it. And then what I intend to do is get all these memorized and recite them and memorize them and keep them focused in my mind so I can grow. So I think this will be helpful for me. I'm going to head back home now. I don't know why I didn't mention that before. I didn't mention that before, but I should have. Anyways, I'm going to head back. I got to get back to home. I'm going to start putting these together. I'm going to start doing some, finding some teaching and stuff like that, and verses with the doctrine that's in it. But yeah. Well, by the way, there's other things you can do. You jot in your journal. You can try to make a picture of what grace would look like. Try to get a picture of grace and see what it would look like. Maybe you can make it. There's things you can put it, make it look like. Sometimes it helps to have a picture with it. So if you can put a picture to those that you're doing, that will help it a ton as well. If you could put a picture to it, just scribble on there a picture or something like that, and like the cross, you could put down the cross, you could put verses talking about the cross. You know, there's other things you could add on there. Why we believe, why we're monotheists and not polytheists. Little things like that, you could write those down, jot those down on your journal. And the trick is you just go over it and over it and over it. Constantly go over it and over it and over it and over it. It's not about how much you can jot down, but how much you can store away. That's how it works. You systematize everything. And that's why I believe in jotting down stuff, you know. This might take me a year, it might take me a couple of years to jot everything now that I want to put in there. I don't know how long it'll take, but I know that if I stay at it and stick with the stuff and keep doing it, I can do that. So like I said, this is where that method I talked about, that method of saying it over and over in your mind, like I talked about over at Burger King. Just say it repetitiously in your mind. I recommend you stack onto it. Man, that was annoying. I hate those compression things. But anyways, stack it onto your mind. Just stack it. Say one for a minute. Just say it over and over in your mind. Don't say it out loud. Say it in your mind over and over again until it's in your mind. And then you say it for like a minute. Then add another one. Say it like alone for like 4 or 5 times, and then put it together with each one. And stack them and stack them and stack them. And then what you do is you just recite it. And certain other things you can do, like you could summarize what is Gnosticism, what is Pelagianism, what is pragmatism, you know, what is sensationism. And you could take those and you could put those and you can just, you know, what is penal substitution, you know, stuff like that. What is substitutionary atonement? What are people's beliefs about progressive sanctification and stuff like that? And you could, what is progressive sanctification and stuff like that? And you just compile it. It might take you 4 to 5 years to memorize everything that's in that little notebook. I don't recommend you memorize big portions of things, but things that are tidbit, and fast and to the point. You can put hymns in there. You can put stuff in there that could help you. I think now you finally figured out my driving passion of what I really love to do. So I'll have to pick this up again, and I will pick this up in a couple minutes. I don't know, I'll take a different route home, maybe. We'll see. So I'll pick this up a little bit later. I'm on my way home. I've had a great time, a sweet time in the Word. To me, people get caught up in the world, get caught up in this garbage. They removed Joseph out of the classroom that he was in. The reason they removed him because he was not happy in there, and he's back in Angie Grant's room, so he's happy. So I'm assuming I ain't gonna get a lot of calls. I am not gonna probably get a lot of calls from him. I'm more than certain I ain't gonna get a bunch of calls now that he's in his happy place where he's with them. So I'm gonna get home, unpack all this, unpack all these videos, sync up the audio and video, get all that done, merge it together. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to turn off Fillmore 9. What I'm going to do, instead of just turning off Fillmore 9 and closing it out and then re-uploading it, I'm just going to, once I get the brand new video, export it out, I'm just going to put it on there and delete the sloppy copy version. Once I get the finished video, then I'll put that one up. I think that's what I'll do. I was going to turn it that way, but the sun is right in my eyeballs. It'll be right in the camera. So, yeah, I intend to get back into this, and I'll get my progression on these things as I do this, so I will tell my progression of how I'm doing with this. Quite frankly, I have enough experience to know full well that this will work, because I have done it before. Sun's in a worse spot. Anyways, but I know full well that this works. My method that I'm talking about. It's funny, the brain's kind of weird, isn't it? It's really weird, isn't it? You have to trick it. Your brain's a complicated thing. And truth be told, you don't even use a big percentage of your brain. Yeah, you don't. Anyways, why is the brain complicated? You might ask that question. Simple and easy to understand why the brain is complicated. It's a complex thing. You need to remember stuff, but you also need blood. You need your blood flow to be going to get oxygen. You need oxygen to remember things. There's tricks to memorizing lots of stuff with not a lot of hard work. It's funny. Everybody thinks it's hard, but it's not. If you follow my method, like I said, say the verses and the doctrine, memorize it 4 or 5 days, say 4 to 5 days or something like that. They say once a week, 5 times or 4 times, whatever. I usually do it 5 times. Then pick a day of the month. Usually the first day of the month I usually do it. Pick that day of the month. Review it only once. Recite it only one time. Once you can recite it without looking at it. That's what I mean, recite it, don't look at it. Just say it from memory, don't just look at the card all the time. Repeat that month after month. And maybe a year or a year and a half or 2 years, more than likely it'll be less than a year, you will be amazed at how easy it is to recite that. And remember, memorize the references all alone. When you get enough references on your pile, just put them all on one card and recite them the way I told you. That one is as simple as like if you do with the doctrine, just say it in your brain, say it in your mind, just stack them up on the top of each other and recite them. It might sound stupid, but it'll make sense in the long run. And you do the same thing, say it every day for 5 days and then say it once a week for 5 times. So that's 5 weeks, say it once every week. And say it monthly for a long while until you can literally say it like it's easy and natural as breathing. Then you just don't need to do it no more. And that will lock into place. And eventually you want to move from just depending on a card and saying it straight from memory. Eventually you will. You'll probably have to practice at it a little bit. You'll practice a little bit at doing it. But the more you practice, the more it gets easier. Trust me. For the longest time, I couldn't say Psalms 89:1. My sisters, I'm not with my steadfast love, you know. If I love my steadfast love in heaven, I will not remove my faithfulness. When it says somewhere else, and it says my faithfulness, my steadfast love, and my name shall his horn be exalted. It talks about Psalms 89:8. Now, those are key. Eventually, you gotta get to the point where you can just say it without looking at it, and it's where it's at. So, I'm hoping that some of you people are believers and are taking what I'm saying to be serious, because this is a serious issue. Too many Christians, I see too many Christians that don't know any theology. They're lacking. I mean, I want to leave my imprint upon this life in a way that is not bad, but good. Yeah, I get frustrated. Yeah, I get angry. Yeah, I get upset. But that's my focus. I think I'm done for today. You guys take care and God bless you.